So I've been reading a lot about celebrities coming out and talking about their struggle with anxiety. If you watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians, that's a term that you hear pretty on the regular. But this time it's a few men coming out and talking about their anxiety as well. Carson Daly opened up to NBC News saying, "I really wear the way I am like a badge of honor. This is who I am and I'm proud of that." Also, NBA star Kevin Love from the Cleveland Cavaliers opened up to Players Tribune, stating mental health isn't just an athlete thing. What you do for a living doesn't have to define who you are. This is an everyone thing. I can't agree with that statement more, and it was really refreshing for me to hear from male celebrities coming out talking about their struggle with anxiety as well. So I decided to invite local psychotherapist Dr. Dori Gatter here to discuss anxiety. Thank you so much, Dr. Dori, for being here with me.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me, Luke.
Awesome. Welcome to the Pop Talk Lounge. Are you happy to be here?
This is great. I'm really happy to be here. This is fun.
All right, awesome. So first off, like I said, I was reading a lot about anxiety in entertainment news. And I guess the first question I really want to start off with is, at what point, whether you're a male or female, do you kind of, step back and say, I have anxiety, however, I feel like maybe I can't, contain this, I can't handle this on my own. So when do you kind of make that step into I need help?
I think everybody's different, depending on what your personality is like. Usually when it's interrupting day-to-day living and it's hard for you to function, then people usually at that point want to reach out for some help.
And why do you think we don't hear about it from men all that much?
It's more acceptable for women usually to talk about their feelings than for men to talk about their feelings. Men are raised to be strong, silent types and to handle it all and not do any what we might look at as possibly complaining about anything. So
Sure.
They're supposed to hold it all together.
That terrible saying that men don't cry, that's
Right.
something that is not true. Men do cry.
Right.
They just cry in private, I guess.
They do.
I don't know
They
when
do.
cry.
They more cry in private. A couple guys going out for the evening are not going to talk about their feelings usually. It's not as accepted over a beer to talk about your feelings, your anxiety, your sadness, and cry like women do.
True.
So they're left to bearing it on their own, and I think they do need more support, and it's great that it's coming out more, that they can get connection for that it's normal.
Exactly, and I love that Kevin Love, an NBA star, so an athlete that men look up to, is coming out and saying, hey, I have a problem with this, it's normal, it's okay that you have this. And one quote off of your site I really love is, the only constant in life is change.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people don't realize that. And one demographic that we kind of talked about previously that I feel like people don't recognize also have a lot of anxiety are young people and young adults.
Yes, there's so much pressure. They have pressure to perform, pressure to be perfect, pressure to get to the next level of whatever that is, and they have a lot of anxiety. We see it all the time. Tons and tons of kids coming in from the pressure of the internal pressure, not just external. Yeah.
Of graduating from high school, you have the SATs, you have applying to colleges, and then even after you graduate from college, finding a job. Transitioning into that real adult life is a huge transition for a lot of people as well too, that you don't really think of these young people having these anxiety issues.
They do. They really do. It's prevalent with a lot of the kids that I see.
So you are part of the West Hartford Holistic Counseling Center.
Yes.
So what makes a holistic counseling center a little bit different than some other type of counselor?
We see people in a holistic light, which means we're looking at the person, body, mind, spirit, individually, not as a diagnosis.
Okay.
But really looking at them and seeing what's going on to affect how they're feeling, what's going on in their diets, what's going on in their environments, what's going on for them as far as their belief systems, and really, really honing in on how do we help them on all levels, not just looking at them as, like I said, a diagnosis or just a mental health issue.
So what types of patients do you see at West Hartford Holistic?
We see everybody. We see little kids, we see adolescents, teenagers, individuals, couples, families. We see everybody.
And what are some small ways, I'm excited about this because I think we can all use it, what are some small ways that you can contain your anxiety or help your anxiety by yourself or on an everyday basis?
Sure. So everybody has some degree of anxiety. We all do. It's natural. And so when it gets to be too much and you can't handle it in your system, usually what we do when we feel anxious is we start shallow breathing. We don't breathe deeply, or we hold our breath.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
I feel like I've done that before.
Right.
Now that I'm going back to my anxiety-ridden memories.
Right. So when we do
Yeah.
that, we actually make it worse.
Okay.
So deeper breathing and actually exhaling for a longer count than an inhale
Okay.
will relax the body, will bring on the parasympathetic nervous system, which tells your system that everything's okay. Takes you out of the fight or flight response.
All right, so a deep breath in.
Deep breath
So
in.
let's do it.
Let's count of 4. Exhale, count of 5.
I feel relaxed already. I think that worked.
It does.
And so that's something that people can do even if you're driving to work and
You
you're like,
can-
I have this
yeah.
huge meeting coming up, I'm so stressed, like I don't know what I'm gonna do whenever I walk through the door. If you just take that long inhale and then even longer
exhale. Yes, you
That's
can
a
do
good
it anywhere.
That is a great tip. And I think we're gonna need some more tips from you in the future. So thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for
If you guys
having
have any questions about the West Hartford Holistic Counseling Center, you can check them out on Facebook as well as visiting westhartfordholistic.com. So thank you so much for coming.
Yes,
And
and
you have a note?
yes, on
Okay.
westhartfordholisticcounseling.com, we
Okay.
have a download of free meditation.
Like a podcast almost?
It's an audio.
Okay.
Yep, it's an audio that you can just download. It's free and it helps with anxiety.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much for being here. And coming up next, we have the creatrix behind the Wild Moon liqueur line. We'll be right back.